1,000 shares. Okay, so this is pretty much what you're going to be getting annually every single year. The second year is by 1,700. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are. Welcome to the Trading Success Show. This is your boy Francis, and what I'll be talking about today is dividend stocks. I noticed that I've been slacking a lot in terms of dividend stocks, locating and looking for dividend stocks that will help me in the future at retirement. So you have to understand that for you to be able to retire good, you also need stocks that pays a dividend. Not only just any stock, but you want to look for solid stocks that pays a dividend. Okay, one of those stocks is, for example, Caterpillar, which is CAT. They also pays a dividend as well. So in my opinion, you want to look for companies that are actually trading at a discount, and also they pays dividend. You also want to talk about Apple as well. Apple is one of those stocks that that for the next 10 years, 20 years, Apple will still be there, right? Also, you think about them, going over and releasing the same phone all over and over again, but you also have the masses, the public, buying the same phone, including me, right? So I want you to understand that for you to retire, it is also penitent, it is very important that you have some form of exposure in the dividend side of things. So I'm going to show you a few websites that I use to look for dividend stocks and dividend to create my dividend portfolio. And as well, I also listen to the Monthly Fool as well, which once a while they bring out stocks that are either in a discount or at a discount, or they are good dividend stocks as well. With that being said, guys, the first one here is going to be CAT. Okay, I'm not going to go much more deep into in terms of how much they're paying per dividend and all that, but just know that these are the stocks that's really going to be there for you in the next 10-20 years, right? We're also going to do a calculation on what you're going to be getting annually with your dividend stock portfolio, being that maybe a stock gives you 5% per year. Okay, hedge funds, they live off 5-10% of profit for the year, right? So you want to cultivate that culture to start investing at a younger age, right? You want to start investing as you go on. You're accumulating shares, and that will result to what we call a compounding interest, right? Now let's take, for example, this first one is CAT. CAT right now, let's see the highs right here. What we're looking at right now is 245, right? So this stock right now is trading around the 190, 194 level. So for me, this is a discount. Okay, Caterpillar is not gonna go anywhere. They're not just gonna come out of the blue and say, hey, we're bankrupt, right? Now also look at Apple. Apple pays dividend as well. Apple is some form of a discount as well from the highs, right? Look at Microsoft. Microsoft is also in the uptrend level. J&J, look at J&J, is in a huge discount, guys, right? Look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan is not really in a discount, but still price still about to break out there. Look at Zoom, because you're going to be dealing with oil and gas, so you want to diversify your portfolio, right? You just don't want to go in with something that is just the oil and gas or the pharmaceutical or whatever, what have you. So you want to spread out your wings, okay? You just don't want to put all your eggs, they say, in one basket. You want to spread it out in a different sector, right? So now we got this Zoom, right? We also have GIS as well, which is your General Mills, right? Right now we're still at a decent level. If you're chatting this up, look at this. We just need to break 61 and we should be all right to attempt the highs right here, 63.50. But guess what? They paid the dividend, which is also a good thing in my opinion. Okay, now let's take for example SPA dividend. So let's put Apple here. Okay, this is it, guys. Okay, let's say you bought 100 shares of Apple. Apple is gonna pay you what? $88. Okay, so their dividend is coming in at 62%, which is 22 per shares, and they're paying what out quarterly. So quarterly, this is gonna be your stuff. Now let's add another one, Abivi. They pay dividend as well. Look at that, guys. Okay, Abivi is paying 4.77%, right? At $1.30 quarterly. You have 100 shares. This is what you're gonna get annually. $520, guys, and you're gonna be investing what? Almost $11,000. So that's why dividend stock portfolio does help in the long run. What if for the next 5 years you accumulate, say, 1,000 shares of Abivi, right? As time goes on, as things goes on, you accumulate 1,000 shares. Now let's calculate it. That will be 5,200 at that rate, right? That is what you have, guys. $5,200 per year. Every single year they'll be paying you this, and your exposure is about $100,000. Okay, so it is very good. It's very important. Take a look at a company called Tip Ranks. I use this to also calculate dividend stock portfolio. Let's say, for example, we have a stock trading at $15 per share and they pay dividend, right? And you have 1,000 share, cost you what? $15,000. And you want this to really go for the next 10 years, right? So if you calculate it, and maybe perhaps they pay 5% and also what? Quarterly. So if you calculate it, this is what you're gonna get, 5%, and your dividend payout is gonna be $7,641, right? So this is how they're gonna be paying you quarterly. That's what you're gonna be making until you hit that 10-year mark, right? And then you go home with 7,600. So in my opinion, it's very, very important. Take a look at another one. This is a dividend calculator by MarketBit, right? Let's say we are investing what? $10,000 in terms of principal, and they are paying us 6% dividend yield, and every single year we're trying to add $5,000 to our contribution, right? And the pay frequency is pretty much annually, which is we also have dividend reinvestment as well, yes, right? And the time frame is going to be 10 years. Okay, and you have appreciation every year, of course, right? So when we did this calculation, we came up with something that yield, of course, is going to increase to close to about what, 10.6%, and also our total dollars is going to be what, 5,500. Okay, and guess what? Our total dollars is going to come in at $96,000, guys. Okay, when you go down looking at the numbers, every single year there is what we call compounding interest. Okay, as you dividend reinvest, things are going up and up and up and up, and at some point you will come to notice that you're being paid 5,500 every single year after 10 years, of course, right? And that is how you do it, guys. Every year you're contributing $5,000 on a particular trade, or in combination of dividend stocks that pays you 6%. So see how it, if you're looking at the growth, 6% in the following year, they're just giving you money, right? So in my understanding, investing dividend portfolio is also good. Now let's go look at the monthly full article, right? Now they're talking about what? These 5 dividend stocks pays 71 billion a year combined to shareholders. So pretty much we're looking at what? Microsoft, and also we're looking at ExxonMobil, which is XOM. We're also looking at Apple as well, guys. You know, JP Morgan is also in the list. J&J is also in the list. It is very, very important to note this, guys. You know, dividend stock portfolio is very important if you want to retire with dividend income. Some of these guys that retire, they don't have anything to do. They don't have much expenses to really, you know, go by, right? So they can live off what? $40,000 a year. Okay, some people make that as per salary as well, guys. You know, so it is very important that you start young, you start fresh. There's another place as well that I like to look for dividend stocks, and that is going to be Finviz. Finviz also, you can search for it, go to the screener, look for dividend yield. Over 10%, you can look for that. And X fund. So I'm not looking for ETF, and I'm going to be looking for only US stocks. Like this one right now, this is a REIT, American Finance Trust, right? AFIN. This one is trading at 835. Okay, so let's say we take 1,000 shares, 1,000 shares of this. That's like $8,000, right? And guess what? They're looking at 85 per year, or 21 cents per quarterly basis. So you're gonna be making some decent amount of money. Now let's look at that website again. We can start over. This is TD Ameritrade, right? So let's put in AFIN. Okay, they got that in here. Let's say 1,000 shares. Okay, so this is pretty much what you're gonna be getting annually every single year. The second year is by $1,700, and just like that, you're gonna be going and going and going and going and going. Look at that, 10% yield, dividend yield. So guys, that is how you look for dividend stock portfolio. If you also want to go to tip ranks, they also put up what we call the high dividend stock comparison as well, where you compare companies that pays high dividend. Look at MO. MO actually is trading at $45.86, and they are paying 721% on dividend. And guess what? It's a strong buy by the market. T-Mobile as well, AT&T, Xerox as well, IBM, CVX as well. So pretty much for me, you want to diversify that portfolio up, right? So guys, that is how you look for, you know, these stocks, these dividend stocks, and start investing at a young age. 10 shares, 100 shares, 200 shares, 500 shares. As time goes on, you accumulate large amount of shares, and guess what? You're gonna be living off of dividend. So try to cultivate that. That is what I'll be doing, guys. These are the stocks pretty much that I will be picking up some shares as time goes on in perhaps the next year or so. Okay, I want to retire and living off my dividend as well. Of course, you know, I make money off the stock market too, right? Guys, that is it. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys have a fantastic week ahead. Go out there and be positive. Go out there and change the world. Go out there and create a fantastic atmosphere for others to live. And peace, guys. Bye bye.